Clearly,
Yeah.
this is the perfect example, side by side, Caitlin Clark, white student from Iowa, talking trash. 48 hours later, that was literally 2 days later, Angel Reese did the same thing back to her, like, oh, you were talking trash? Here's back at you.
That's
And
cute.
then,
That's like a banter. I
right,
don't
right.
Hi.
Hey, Mo, how are you?
So good. Oh my God.
You look really cute today.
Thank you. You look adorable.
Little
As
sun shining in
usual.
on your beautiful face.
I love my son.
Yeah, it's rainy here. It sucks. Always.
My therapist was like, "Oh, even like they do like an index, like you want to kill yourself today?" And it was like,
You're
"Well,
laughing.
you're feeling better. Do you think the season has anything to do with it?" I'm like, "Probably. The sun is
Yeah.
shining."
Well, that's the thing. Seasonal affective disorder, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, you need that vitamin D.
All right. I'm African. Shoot.
African.
Need my son.
Speaking
What
of
we talking about?
Africans, no, I was kidding. What a segue. I think this is still relevant, right? We just finished March Madness.
I lost.
NCAA, basketball tournament, championship tournament for people who don't know what March Madness is. And there was like a news buzz, I don't know what you want to call it, fake outrage, whatever, about the women's championship game between Iowa and LSU. And during that game, Angel Reese, who plays for LSU, did the John Cena, the hand in front of her face at Caitlin Clark.
Who's John Cena?
John Cena is like one of the fake wrestlers, like The Rock.
Okay.
He has his little thing. He would do this like, you can't see me. You can't see me. You can't see me on the court, like whatever. So that's basically what she was doing. And the reason she was doing it is because, I had to do a deep dive on Caitlin Clark. She plays for Iowa. These are college athletes. So they're 19, 20, 21 years old, Caitlin Clark talks hella shit. Like she's got, they call it swag, they give her kind of props. Oh, she's got swag on the court, she, and she's been seen doing this. She did it 2 games
She's scary.
She's seen it. She did it against Louisville, I think, and Iowa beat Louisville, and she was doing the hand in her face, like whatever. But even ESPN has like a whole like highlight reel of her just talking. They call her the queen of clapbacks, right? So it's just part of the sport, I guess. But so
it's
Angel
fun.
Reese,
Yeah, that's part of the fun. Like people forget about the fun part. Like it's not just the game. Like what makes it fun is like wrestling. You have these personalities. They have remember Dennis Rodman? They have behaviors.
He was my favorite.
Allen
growing
Iverson,
up. The worm. I love Dennis Rodman.
I was a typical B. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I was a Bulls fan. Family's from Chicago, but Dennis Rodman was my hero.
I liked him. I idolized him. Like, I thought it was cool. Like he was living his truth.
Yeah, I liked him.
The wedding dress, yeah.
But just a lot of, I didn't know what it was, first of all, until I started seeing things pop up on Facebook, pop up on TikTok.
Same. Instagram.
And I was like, what is this? Is this just going to blow over? And it didn't. And then, so basically Angel Reese did the same thing back to Caitlin Clark. You can't see me on the court. LSU blew them out. I think it was this past Sunday, April 2nd, 102-85. So LSU whooped them. And she was like, you can't see me, at Caitlin Clark's face, and was like pointing at a finger like, I'm about to get that ring. You can't see me, whatever.
Oh, is that what that is? Because I'm like,
I thought you can't see me on the court.
How they do hand? Oh, they're not allowed to do hand gestures anymore, right? I don't even know. I thought they had like hand gestures.
They can. I guess they can do whatever. I don't know. But she was just talking shit the way that Caitlin Clark has been known to do. So I think I don't know, but they're trying to create a beef, it seems like, and both the athletes are cool with each other. They're like, this is just the game, it's like Caitlin Clark's not upset about it. Angel Reese is not upset at Caitlin Clark. Like they're just playing each other. That's what you do. Men do
Who's upset?
All the time. I don't know. This maybe ties back to the woke stuff. The people who are upset, I don't know. They're talking about sportsmanship and oh my gosh. And it's funny because when Caitlin Clark does it, it's swag. She's a baller, right? And Caitlin Clark is white, FYI, for people who don't know, and Angel Reese from LSU is black. But when Angel Reese did it, she was classless. Keith Olbermann called her an effing idiot. Like the words that are used, like, oh, she's she's got
like,
swag, she's a baller. And then if she's black, she's again like a thug or like
it's common. That's common. Remember nappy headed hoes? That was like
when was that? What was that from?
Gosh, that was that radio guy.
Yeah,
I don't remember his name.
Talking about
it was like a
black athletes, right?
Black basketball players, female
yeah.
basketball players. Wait, is this my? I ain't trying to be.
I remember that. I had forgotten about it till you said it, and it snapped back into my memory.
Imus.
Oh yeah,
Imus in the morning. Don Imus referred to
yep.
Rutgers University basketball team as nappy-headed hoes and jigaboos.
Terrible,
right?
I mean, I just feel like I played sports, and I hear what people say about sportsmanship and all this, and I think the people who are more concerned about sportsmanship are the people who don't play sports, don't know sports, don't get emotionally invested in the sports. There's a lot of shit talking, a lot. You know, if you get bumped down, you know, while rebounding for a ball, you better believe and be like, watch out, bitch. You know, like people talk. That's what the game is. Yeah. Men do it. Women do it as well. And I think there's a double standard. If you're a man, you can. It seems like, oh, he's tough out there. Look at him. He's playing hard. Woman does it.
He's confident.
Depending on the race, you get a different reaction. And so, I just feel like
ladylike.
These two young women do not care. That was part of the game. That's how they play the game. They're fine. So it's the outside. Somebody outside is up in arms about it, but only because Angel Reese did it, not because Caitlin Clark had been doing it.
They're sore losers, maybe?
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, I want to know who's outraged besides this is like fake out, like you said, fake outrage.
It's got to be fake. What is there to be outraged about?
Divide us. Like, this is nothing. They're in this world. I'm like, we really must be getting in the World War III if this is what we're talking about. Like, really?
I did like a little deep dive before this. So I was like, okay, I want to know like some interesting information. Who's talking what, saying stuff. I love watching Undisputed with Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah,
is that his name? So I mean, I think they're interesting. They talked about, or Skip Bayless. Why did I say Chip? Dr. Jill Biden.
Yeah, when he walked off the thing. Remember all that mess? Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know, but President Biden's
Dr.
wife,
Jill.
First Lady, was saying congratulations to LSU team, and she said something about like Iowa really played hard too. I'm going to talk to Joe about inviting them too to the White House. And it's almost like a.
Did she say she ain't going, Caitlin Clark, or somebody said, or Angela
Reese? But losers don't go
go
to the White House.
Yeah, so why do everybody gets a trophy? It's the same mentality. Everybody gets a trophy. But they always got to sour. Hell no,
I'm not going.
Yeah. They try to sour anytime a black person a black woman wins something, and I don't know what that's about. Remember, I don't know. I don't know if that's what you sent, but I do remember a few years ago. I don't know if it was the Olympics or what, but there was a black gymnast, or was it a skater? And she did like this multiple like twirls in the air, like I think it's like she twisted like 3 or 4 times, never been done before. And they were like, why is she showing off like that? Like, you're not supposed to show off. And it's like, she's showing her craft. This is a skill. Like, why is it showing off when she does it? If somebody else, if you were able to do it, then that wouldn't be showing off.
I have an unpopular opinion.
What?
And this is just, I think, riffing off of like stereotypes, etc. But black people, stereotypically or not,
Soraya Bonale.
Yes, French.
Yeah.
Bonale, yeah. But black people, stereotypically, factually, even maybe, I don't know, I don't have the facts to back it up, are athletically, I don't know the word. You know where I'm going with this, right? Inclined.
I'm very confused by it. Like black people obese and all this, we are athletic. Like
but I mean, I don't know if it's, you know, genetically like predisposed to be, you know, whatever. But I think that is a sore loser kind of emotion. I'm trying to I'm kind of twitching here because I'm trying to work my brain through the words I want to say. But black athletes, you've got all the GOATs. Who are they, right? They're Michael Jordan, they're Serena Williams. They're black athletes, and for them to be seen as the best and exceed expectations looks like showing off to lesser talented athletes. I don't know how else to say that. I think
we talked about this. Maybe it's
like kick them while it's down. That's how they're feeling. Like, I know you're better than me, but damn, you got to be that much better. Like, I think that might be what the feeling is.
It's kind of like we talked about it. Like, if say you went to Paris or something, and you're just telling me that you went to Paris and all the things you do, and I'm jealous. So then I'm thinking, you're not just sharing a story with me, you're bragging. That's
Yeah.
that same kind of mentality. It's like, where is the bragging? Where is the showing off? These are people just talking about an experience and people who are performing their craft. I don't get it. And like you said, it's like sore loser mentality and souring the victories of Black people. It's like, don't we have enough problems? Why are we even talking about this? Like,
or some of it's just
always
the flair
divide,
of the
divide,
game.
divide. Yeah, it's fun.
Like you can't show out. Like, and it's weird because the culture isn't just Black now, it's the sport. So if you play basketball, whether you're Black, white, Asian, whatever, you're going to show out. That's part of the game. We're going to talk trash. We're going to, whatever. And then we're going to shake hands after.
Yeah,
it's
we're
different
human,
from coming at you. We're playing. That's part of the game. It's the mental.
The banter,
the mental is part of the game. And so, like with football, you're not supposed no excessive celebration. You know how they used to do the dance. They get in the end zone and they can't do that anymore. And it's like, well, that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, that's like I don't want to see a robot. Yeah, that's boring.
I mean, or do the robot, But I think it's ruining sports, and it's changing the. I think that's why there's outrage over this now. Is we've done such a not we, but I guess before us or whoever have done such a shit job of we got to make it fair. If you were on the team, you get a trophy, even if you didn't really contribute to the it's everybody gets everything. We can't have anybody better than anybody else, even though they work day in and day out to be better. I mean, these are 2 championship teams. These women and their teams have played and practiced and worked out and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to get to where they are. And it's like, why are we going to disturb? It's disrespectful. Why are we going to disturb from their efforts, the amazing game they had? I mean, it was like, I think the most watched game in women's basketball, or it was like something, it exceeded the men's viewership. There was I saw an article about that, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about trash talk on the basketball court, which is commonplace.
Common.
And then Jill Biden wants the losing team to come. And I guess Skip and Shannon Sharp were talking about, like, is it because the losing team was white? 5 white starting basketball players versus a mostly, if not all, Black team out of LSU? Like, is it a race component? Oh, they look like me, and I feel bad for them because they worked hard. All of them worked hard, every team.
Everybody worked hard. Invite the whole NCAA then, It's like, it doesn't.
But it's never been that way. Was she like, oh, the Eagles should come? The Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Oh, but we should invite them too. Nobody was asking for this. She wasn't asking for the Eagles to, you know what I mean? Like,
I just remember something about Trump gave some people some dry burgers or something one time. I don't remember what that was. Ain't that some shit? I said, ain't that some shit? Oh, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Goddamn.
We're constantly bombarded with images of Black women who are not allowed grace, who are held to an unrealistic standard, who are not provided any grace, who are not cared for. This seems to be the standard of living for being a Black woman in the United States. And I'm not begging for a seat at the table. I'm not begging for anyone to care for me or for anyone to protect me. I do it myself. But then we come into the whole strong Black woman trope. But what other options do we have? We literally have no other options but to stand up for ourselves, by ourselves, with ourselves. We are unprotected, the most unprotected group of women in the world.
It's so stupid. It's stupid that it's even a topic, or that people took it the way that they were trying to explain why she's a bad sport, Angel Reese, for doing
always
that.
Behavior, like monitoring of Black women's behavior, and it becomes, it's all fun and games, but this stuff is not just in sports. When I think about Sandra Bland, I think about the way the cop was really mad that she kind of had an attitude with him. She was like, standing up for herself. And he didn't like that. He manhandled her and
How
stuff.
Dare
and
she?
I think, like, how dare you? Let me put you back in your place. And I think that's the theme. It's like, let me put you back in your place. And we still, like, that just fell off the planet. Like, we don't know what happened.
I think also what makes it more newsworthy is the juxtaposition we're talking about women and how women are able to show up in the world, show up on the basketball court, show up in the workplace, etc. But the juxtaposition of Black women and white women next to each other and what is deemed acceptable behavior for each party. And it's not the same standard. Clearly, this is the perfect example, side by side, Caitlin Clark, white student from Iowa, talking trash. You can't see me, you know, John Cena in her face. 48 hours later, that was literally 2 days later, Angel Reese did the same thing back to her, like, oh, you were talking trash? Here's back at you.
That's cute. That's like a banter.
Right, right. And she was even asked about it after the game, and she was like, I don't know, we lost. I mean, you know, like she didn't have anything to say about it because that's just the game. But to outsiders, yeah. I mean, I love them all. I love women's basketball and just balling.
Go watch some because I don't think they do it.
We need a team here. I think they're trying to get a team in Portland.
Watch the NCAA or whatever.
It's just this is the perfect example of comparing treatment of women of different races in the same area, same field. And
what is it? Black women are always told they have an attitude or something.
Yeah,
like,
it's angry.
When just stating basic needs or, you know, like just stating anything. And it's just like, I'm sick of these stereotypes. Because then it's like, it's not just words. It's these things impact your life. They could take your life, you know? So it's just, it's unfortunate. Have they done one of those, what would you do or something, like to have a Black woman and a white woman, like having the same behavior and then see how people act? I need to see. I love that show.
That would be interesting. I just watched one. I don't know if it was on YouTube or I don't know where I was watching it. I was watching it though. And it was late at night, so who knows? I could be dreaming this up. But it was a Black family, and the waitress was pretending to say, you have to prepay for your meal. And there were white families around, and some of the women, she went to go take the order of somebody else, and the woman was like, why did you do that? And was questioning it, you know? And she was like, well, because I've run into problems with people like that before. And she's like, people like that? What are you talking about? You know? And so she was, you know, going on about it. And so the white lady ended up getting up and she's like, I'm not eating here anymore. She pulled the Karen, get your manager, bring your manager out here. But
Karen.
Really interesting. Yeah, I know, for good. She used it for good, her, you know, her Karen powers. But I mean, I don't know.
Nicole Byer had a similar story. Well, not similar, but her story was that she went to a bar and she called out the bar on everything. And she was sitting there.
Good for her.
Bartender kept passing her by, not acknowledging. That's a pet peeve of mine. That's like, you ain't getting my fucking money at that point. You sitting here going, pass
my money green too.
Somebody else. Yeah. Like, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to call out Ultimo Coffee here. Y'all did that to me, stinking asses. I won't be back. Anyway, they ignored her. And then when a white woman came in, who was her friend,
yeah,
they served her immediately. And they were like, and she was like, I've been sitting here the whole time and you didn't even help me. And it was like, I'm busy, I'm a bartender or something, you know, like gaslighting, like basically don't take it personally. It's nothing to do. And I'm just like, I'm so sick of that mess. I'm calling everybody out who does that again.
You know what I wonder? Because I'm trying to take a deeper, I'm obviously in an interracial marriage, have a lot of white people that I interact with who live in a mostly white situation.
Yeah.
And so when I see stuff like that, I wonder how much of that is an intentional act or how much of that is, we always talk about institutionalized racism. We talk about like just things that are ingrained and programmed in you without you even knowing. Like I'm trying to take a step back and realize, as mad as I am at the bartender, why didn't you serve me? Did you see me? Did you? I mean, is there something in your mind? Did you not even see me?
Yeah, I'm like, do they have something in their brain that they don't even perceive Black people?
Because how does that, I mean, how are you,
like the
how is
sidewalk
someone literally going to walk past you? They trying to get paid. So are you really not seeing me? Are you really intentionally not trying to take my money and get my tips? What are you doing? Like,
I was at a bar the other day and I was waiting and they hadn't come to check on me. And then a white man came and they didn't check on him either. And so I was kind of
damn,
like,
you just bad at your job.
And I was like, the guy is usually nice. He did bring me some water and I think he was just trying to give me time. But in the back of my mind, I was like, if this motherfucker is a white man first, like, it's sad that I even have to think like that. And he came, and it's funny because that happened to me before at one of their sister bars, and I was sitting there, nobody helped, and then a white couple came and sat right next to me at the bar. Immediately, somebody came to help, and I said, "Excuse me, can I?" And they were starting to walk away, and I'm like, "Excuse me, like."
And then they want to know why you upset.
Yeah, and
I
was
just
like,
angry.
"Are you just coming? Are you just coming now because they're right next door?" Like, I was sitting here the whole time. Like, oh, I didn't know. I thought somebody else did it. And it's just like, you know what? That was the last time I went to that place.
I really wonder about that though. Like, it really either it's going to be some earth-shattering shit for me when I just come to the realization and acceptance that that's just intentional behavior. Like, because how 2023, how is that intentional behavior? Like, how is I mean, I don't know.
Privilege.
I'm like struggling, I'm struggling with it in a way. I don't know. Because I'm like, we really just doing that so obviously? And then you go, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like we've talked about before, like the cutting in line, the cutting off on the sidewalk, just these little microaggressive type things. It's like, I want to see, because I've asked a friend that. I said, is it something like where you cannot perceive Black people? Like,
or even when it's called out, I wonder, like, I mean, I told you about the time I was at like Michael's, I think it was Michael's or some craft store, and a woman just cut right in front of me. I mean, the line was long and she went right in front of me. There was a bit of a gap. The line had just moved and then I was moving. And I just kind of, and she even looked back at me, and it was kind of like, what? And I wonder, had I looked like her, if there would have been a different, oh, I'm sorry, were you here? There was none of that deference at all. And it was like one of those situations where I was going to have to be aggressive and call her out on it because she wasn't, there was none of that.
Yeah. And then you're the bad guy.
Yeah. Which is my usual response though. And I don't know if this is something that's been put in me. Kind of like maybe going back to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese put in me that I should be deferential. I should be, I'm sorry, were you in line? To be polite, but also maybe to dampen down or tamper down any kind of tension there may be, especially if there's a racial component there. I mean, I'm just polite in general. I consider myself a polite person, but when it is across racial lines, there's an extra piece to it that's weird. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but almost the you represent more than yourself. You can't just come out of pocket right away about some stuff if you're having
that burden.
Yeah, that is something. You represent.
I don't care at this point. I'm like, I'm sorry if I'm a bad representation, but you're gonna get told today. Like, I am.
But I mean, that's another privilege piece, right? Angel Reese represents all Black women. She represents all Black women playing basketball. She represents all Black women. Caitlin Clark, she's shit talking. She's telling people, she said something to somebody. She whispered it kind of, but like, you down by 15, you might as well just go sit down. She said something like that which is hilarious to me. But like, she doesn't represent all white women, white basketball players. So there's that extra piece too. That's kind of like when people are coming for Angel Reese too, on the converse, when people are coming for her because of her behavior, they're coming for me. They're coming for you. Like it's received that way too. Like, you don't like what she said? Oh, really? Tell me more about it. Let's have a conversation. Like, because you pissed off all kind of Black women everywhere. We're protective, I guess. I don't know. Because the only people posting on the social media were Black women friends of mine. Because you take up and I guess I don't know that that's the same. Because there's no, that sense of community is not the same.
And then they were posting though, the content they were posting though wasn't Black women. Like, they were posting white people and other people who were like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I want to know who's upset. Who are the people who made a big stink about it to set this off?
Did anybody make a stink about it?
I mean, I feel for them too.
Oh, okay. During a press conference after LSU's win, Reese was informed by a reporter that Twitter was in a rage. The term classless was trending along with Clark. So the Twitter troll, Twatterverse, okay, probably bots, who knows?
Yeah.
Twatter bots, jealous.
So Twitter started it. Who cares? That's just a whole bunch of nobodies.
I think you sent it. I don't know. I couldn't look at it, but I think you sent it, and she didn't. I guess she won some stuff. What was her name? Sha'Carri.
Oh, Richardson, the track.
Yeah. She kind of messed herself up with
marijuana
weed, but besides that, people were hating on her because she was.
Well, she's not the
just
only
herself.
one either. Who was it? I just sent you a link to something talking about how the Olympics are failing Black female athletes.
Oh, I didn't get to see it.
But I mean, they talk about Naomi Osaka. They talk about Sha'Carri Richardson, Simone Biles. I forgot the athlete. I think she was African with the high testosterone levels.
Yeah, that was right.
Naturally,
like, that made me mad. Yeah, naturally had testosterone, but if somebody has a synthetic. I mean, there's like added testosterone. They can play like
right, or just the idea of people who have transitioned. Have we reached that in the Olympics yet? Is that going to be permitted? Although she's been banned because her body naturally makes
it is already.
So trans women can participate in the.
I thought that was the whole thing.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I know in collegiate, like they had that big thing about swim. I forgot who the athlete was.
Yeah, all they need is legal recognition. It was 2004. They've been playing since 2004.
Okay, so are they going to test and check testosterone
they do.
there? Like my face of the look of
Girl,
bewilderment. Oh, but they also
athletes will no longer be able to undergo medically. Wait, what?
Well, while you're looking,
unnecessary hormone treatments to compete.
Well, that woman, the one that was banned or whatever for her natural testosterone levels, she was not permitted to participate because she refused to take medicine to alter what her body was doing to lower her testosterone.
Yeah, that's her natural body. Yeah.
Right. So, and then there was another one, Brianna Rollins, something else. I forgot, but I think she marijuana again.
White?
A black.
Oh, a black.
No, I was thinking a black. My blacks. Just the standards. It's just another arena in which it's just the separate treatment, the different treatment.
It's frustrating.
Is glaring.
We're almost treated like a third gender. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like, black women are
like third gender.
Black women are like supposed to be a man. I mean, like we're supposed to, like, people lack empathy for us. We're supposed to be these strong beings. And then somebody made a good point on my Twitter feed, and he said, why is it that every time a Black woman is successful, it has to be magical? What about the skills and time that she put in here and energy she put into her craft? Like, what about that? It's not magic.
Well, that's what that clip I sent you, it's an ACLU podcast or whatever. But they address it, the Black girl magic, like saying, like, mystical. We're not actually magic people.
Yeah.
It's not real. Like people busting their ass and working. Like this isn't. But it's just there is a sort of like this mythical, or like I wonder where maybe some of this treatment comes from. The idea that it's not real. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
You're just innate. But, you just were born that way with these predisposed. You didn't do anything.
How dare you be that good? Now you're showing off and bragging. Or just take it to Serena. The way she was treated. Ooh. She couldn't get upset. Then all of a sudden she acting out. She can't. And you had John McEnroe up here going crazy, literally crazy. The world of sports is like something wholly different. And I just feel like to try to control the emotion, the excitement, the expressiveness of athletes in a way like this is just ridiculous. It's it's ridiculous. How about we try to control people out here shooting up places? And we do that.
Okay.
We do that. But all the socials were abuzz with this, I guess, debate or discussion.
They still are. And I'm just like, you know what? It sucks.
What else is there to talk about?
I'm going to talk about, on Ain't That Some Shit, I'm going to talk about it because I know there was something else that happened that really put a sour taste in my mouth. And it was that kind of souring of a Black victory. I don't remember which one it was, but I need to look that up. Because it's just like every time we do something, somebody tries to come in and say, "Oh, it's not that special. You're not special."
I
but y'all get y'all freebie
on YouTube. I was watching on
YouTube.
I was watching on the YouTube. I was watching on YouTube, and that's how I got just watching Undisputed. And I went through like 3 or 4 videos where Shannon and Skip were talking about this, and it was really interesting to listen to what they were saying. They both were in agreement, and just Shannon Sharp put a whole lot out there talking about like, words don't hurt, like when it's appropriate to be like up in arms about people's words or their actions, the hand gesture or whatever, and how that's so hurtful and classless. But it's like when it's in the reverse, when you're dealing with, Black athletes, it's words, sticks and stones, words will never hurt me, whatever, get over it. But we have to be, gentle when it's the other way around. I don't know. But the conversations they have are really interesting. I don't know that I really watch too much of them, but I enjoy it now.
I watched the one where Shannon Sharp ran off the stage because I forgot what he was saying. Skip, I think, was saying something about you need to get back going. They should have kept the game going or something.
Oh, after that guy had a heart attack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shannon Sharp was outraged. But there's another example of no empathy for black. I hate to say, I don't like the term black body for black
bodies,
humans being with the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like it's a commodity or like
like a bodies. And I'm like the people I hate to see these black people. And I think that's like, I'm on the other side of when we were talking about woke a few episodes ago. I'm on the other side of woke. I think people go too far with it. I'm woke. I think people go too far and they it on that side. So not the people who are offended by it, but the people who are actually doing it.
Yeah. People go too far on both ends. Yeah.
Yeah. And they make it look bad. Then it's like black bodies. And you have these black people, black bodies. Now, like people are already dehumanizing us. Now we ain't nothing but a body, just a vacant body, vacuous body.
Yeah. It's a fine line with that woke stuff. I mean, there is injustice out there. There's microaggressions we can all just speak to every day, seeing things that are like, that's not quite right. Or why didn't you come and serve my table? Why did that kind of stuff. But then not everything. I think that's what I was maybe trying to get to with taking a step back and wondering if it's intentional. Not everything is.
Yep.
They say race card. They always, that's like a little, I hate hearing it. Oh, you're pulling the race card. But not everything is the race card, right? Not everything is
exactly
racially
people
motivated.
Have lives and feelings. Yep.
Yeah. Could be having a bad day. I'm sorry. Didn't see you. I thought I already served you. Who knows? I mean, I've been to server and sometimes it's just a blur. It's just like, did I, somebody's appetizer been sitting up there on the counter for like however long I didn't get it to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's probably the reaction I would have too. I'd be like, I'm sorry.
And that's another thing. Then you have to deal with the server when people get a black server a lot of times and they don't get the same tips. And it's just like, I think white women get like the most tips or something. I just saw something about that.
Yeah. And then white women who put their hair in pigtails. Did you see that one?
I think that's the one I saw.
And the age. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Humans are sick. This is unrelated, but I feel like the ultimate, this goes back to, I guess, our kids episode. I think the humanity once humanity stops is the only way humanity would ever stop is when people realize how horrible human beings are.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the hell?
I mean, humans are terrible. But you know what? There's so many great humans. I think I don't know what it is that makes us drawn to the terrible. Tell me the bad stuff. Tell me there was something I think it was a group text, I don't know, about the lynching of a woman and her son or her niece.
Oh yeah.
But part of me thought about that for a while, and I was like, every time I see stuff like that, it sinks me down. I get into like the sunken place, like it brings me down, but it makes me wonder, like, I know people got lynched. I know hundreds and thousands of people were lynched. So why is this why do I need to delve into the details of every person's story? Which is, they should be honored. Their lives were taken. We should know about it. But do I really need to? Because every single time it's like a new discovery that people were lynched for being, what I'm saying? So it's like I know it. I don't know that I need to know all of it. But a guilt, because I feel like I should know all of it. Because their lives matter.
You can try to escape it, and then it's going to be somebody got shot up or stabbed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always something. But we're drawn to that.
Kid body slammed, little girl body slammed. these Black girls
we're
getting
drawn
body
to
slammed and
that.
stuff.
I wonder though, because there's good things happening. I know there are fantastic things, stories and Black excellence, you know, like great
the kids
people
in the
starting
math,
charities. But like that's not, I bet that's not shared as much as we found this out. This person got pulled over.
Yeah, why isn't anybody talking about that?
Anyways.
Well, anything else?
No, that's it. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Please enjoy this mindful moment. Don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from.